Yeah, so anyway, as I said, so I believe fish are attracted to not only the amino acids in the water and the smell, but also the visual aspect. The ground bait moving or putting knobs in rather than balling it in. I'm not saying balling in don't work, because it does. Because if you ball it in, quite often the fish will come straight onto it. Think there's a dinner plate and think it's dinner time and they'll eat it. But then what happens? They fill up very, very quickly. But if you knob it in and put it, in fact, Billy, I was talking to Billy about this, and when his successes, he was a great canal angler, and he's seen the same. People would ball it in, they catch straight off, and then they die. But he'd knob it in, little knobs throughout the match, and he'd catch all match, consequently win matches and do very well. And I've done the same. I've gone over the Bristol Avon, and and I've seen boys, ball it in. They catch like hell for the first hour or two, and then just dies. And I keep loose feeding or knobbing it, and I seem to keep the fish going longer. Yeah, I just missed out qualifying last year. 23 pound, and I kept my fish feeding all match. Where the guys below me just balled it in, caught early, and that was the end of it. So as I say, so yeah. So with this in mind, this is where my ground bait, I started to put my thinking cap on, and this is how it all started to work. Now, I can tell you that I've been mixing ground baits, as I said, for 35 years, and going back to the early 80s, I know we experienced a lot of floods this last year, 2019, 2020. Well, so we did in the 1980s, and unfortunately, late 1992, I think it was, that I had the great floods of Evesham. And, after winning the World Championships, I actually decided to try and better myself. And that's the reason I moved up to the Midlands and to fish against the best anglers I could. And it was from there I started mixing my ground baits. And one of the companies who used to market it for me was W.D. Clark's, and it was just taking off, doing extremely well when the floods came, and I lost not only my house, my business, but lots of other things, which again is in my autobiography. So if everyone wants to ever look at my biography, then I explain basically what happened, and I stopped doing the ground bait. So it's only the last couple of years I started to reintroduce my ground bait again, and it's proven very successful. Not only me catching lots of fish myself, but lots of other anglers as well. So anyway, but that's another story. As I said, you can get my autobiography from Amazon, or if you search on YouTube, you'll see that I've actually made a YouTube video of it as well. So yeah, that's a freebie. Yeah, anyway, I thought this is my little bit of advertising. There's my autobiography. It was back to front there. But there you are. As I said, you can buy that off Amazon. Billy Makins made a couple of good videos. That's one of them. Tits and teeth. And this one is more about the fishing. This is fishing and testicles. As I said, I got very friendly with Billy now, going over to Thailand, and as I say, he's a great guy, very knowledgeable. Another knowledgeable guy that I used to know many years ago, which, as I said, during our international duties, I got very friendly with Ray Mumford. Now, sadly, Ray's passed away a couple of years ago, but he was a character. He's one off, Ray was, and I remember once we were fishing the Arno, we were practicing, and he came along with a Welsh team, and he was basically, trying to get in with the squad. I think he did mention that he had a Welsh grandmother or something, and he was probably entitled to fish, for the Welsh team, but it never happened. But anyway, Ray, me and Ray were fishing away, and he got these little pebbles off the, just off the bank, and he just started throwing one in, every now and again, every couple of seconds, onto his float, and lo and behold, we catch a carp, and that's without throwing any ground bait in. And I thought, well, there again, you know, you can imagine the pebble falling through the water, fish thinking there's something falling through the water, food, follow it down, and hence our bait was on the bottom and we used to catch fish. Amazing. So, you know, as I said, I believe that the groundbait works visually as well as, if you like, the amino acids and the smells in the water. So, with that in mind, I started to make my groundbait mixes. Now, I did, as I said, talking to Billy Macon and about different baits and ground baits, and he was saying that when he first tried the continental mixes, he said he used to catch more on just pure breadcrumb than he did with the mixes. But of course, I don't think they quite had it right then in them days. But you know, I think now these days we're probably more experienced with it. And as I said, he was a great advocate on Little and Often, and so with that in mind, I thought, well, I'm going to make a groundbait that actually, you know, sort of fizzes in the water. But like he said, and he pointed out, and he's quite right, is that the only species of fish that probably don't work for it is bream, because bream, you know, because of the nature of the way they feed, they're grazers. They go around the bottom of the riverbed or the lake or whatever, and they come over the groundbait, you know, and they don't like it moving, they don't like it fizzing, you know, or they don't like it, you know, on top of their heads. So as I say, when the groundbait's there, then you know you leave it there. However, that got me thinking, because I don't know if anyone ever watches these underwater videos, which are very interesting these days on YouTube, especially when it comes to bream fishing. Quite often you'll see roach move in first, you know, and the bream follow them. And I've come to the conclusion that bream, because they haven't got a great sense of eyesight, they haven't got a good sense of smell, and I think they see other fish sort of milling round like roach, and then they move in, and I've that theory has come to practice, because when I fished our local dock, quite often we start catching roach and then the bream move in. So that got me thinking. So this also got me thinking when it came to mixing groundbait, not only using the Dutch method of plenty of salt and fish meal in particular. Bream do like fish meal. That one's so much around in them days, but it is today, and for some reason Bream do like the fish meal. But roach love aniseed, and I can vouch for that, because as a youngster, some of the lads used to experiment with aniseed and used to catch loads of fish. If you didn't use aniseed, you wouldn't catch roach. In fact, I think it got banned in a couple of times in clubs, and you know, even throughout the country. You know, it was a very, very popular bait. So I experimented. I mixed aniseed and I mixed fish meal together. And I tell you what a brilliant mix. My last match I fished for Bream, I had 53 pound. Won the match. Next weight was only 29. So, you know, as I say, it's giving me the confidence to use it. So that's one of my mixes. But what I want to do, I'm going to show you another mix in a minute, which is very visual, which also I believe, you know, fish particularly like. Hi, greetings and welcome. Clive Branson here at Goldmedal Groundbaits. Now, on this video, I'm going to show you something different, unlike any other groundbaits. I call it Black Majestic. Years ago, we used to call it Black Magic, but unfortunately, because of copyright laws, I have to rename it. So I'm calling it Black Majestic or Black Maj. It's the only groundbait in the whole range that's non-cereal based. It has organic materials. It's secret. I don't want to indulge too much exactly what's in there, but all I can suffice to say is that it doesn't feed the fish up when you use it.
And it also has a very ideal property in colouring the water up, which is a good attraction for the fish. Again, this type of groundbait has to be mixed in a certain way. For example, we don't add water to it because it's already moist. Inside there's some amino acids that we add to it that it's like an oil that keeps it a bit moist. So when you purchase the bag, you might find it a bit damp inside, but it's always a good idea perhaps to open it up to let it breathe. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some to the bowl, and instead of adding water with a sponge, I'm going to use an atomizer. Now you can buy these, or if you can, pinch one off the missus once she's finished with it. Just fill it with water and use it as a spray just to dampen it down slightly. Okay? Once you've got the right consistency, if you do it a few times, you can get the feel of it. And once it starts to cling together, then you've got your mix. So I'm going to have a bit more because this has dried out with the sun today. It's very sunny today, which is nice for a change. Okay. Now this mix, I'm going to show you how it works in the water, and it creates a beautiful cloud effect. If you'd like to see this. As you can see, it's all breaking up and all the bits coming out of it, which is attracting the fish to the area. As the fish mull around, eating the particles of bait inside, of course they're not eating the ground bait, which isn't filling them up. Okay, as that's broken down now, to introduce more of this black madge, I've made it a bit more damp so that you can see how it works in the water. Now that is creating a lovely, lovely cloud. And I simply added a little bit more water to the mix to create this effect. Ideal for any type of fish that are attracted by the cloud. Bleak fish in particular. What fish can't resist that? Okay, so that was I cheated a bit then. I showed an old clip which in fact I'll put a link on the end of this vlog so you can see a little bit more in depth. So I believe that groundbait, as I say, that mix is really a physical attraction as well as the amino acid smell in the water. So, and I tried to do this on a lot of my mixes, as I said, except for the Bream. And in fact, the black madge, although it's it's organic, you can mix it with any mix and it creates that effervescent effect. So it's certainly worth, you know, as I said, experimenting and trying it yourself. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. That, as I said, that shows you where I'm coming from as far as the groundbait is concerned. Now, in the range, it's only going to be a short video. This, so just give an insight of what the roadshows are all about and how I arrived at making, you know, at my Goldmedal range of groundbaits. As I say, you can pop over to the website www.goldmedalgroundbaits.co.uk, and on there you'll find all my groundbaits, and you can read on each groundbait. As I said, because of my years in fish keeping, I believe that certain amino acids attract certain fish. Is it a mix that you can mix all together, you know, to attract all the fish? Yeah, possibly. I have made a mix called an all mix, and the all mix is basically a bit of everything. It's got the garlic, aniseeds, fish meal. It's also got turmeric in it, which reminds me, I've got a great F1 mix for commercials. That was a little bit of a, how should I say, I was experimenting one day, and
I suppose it was a little bit of, the unexpected. I just tried a little bit of this F1 mix, which has got lots of spices in it, and F1 fish responded to it. And so I had so many fish in the swim, I was foul looking them. So many. And I thought, well, if that's coincidence, I'll try it again the following week. And it worked again. So as I can say, it's a great mix. My roach mixes, as I said, aniseed and hemp. Black is also becoming very popular now. You know, black. I do a black range of groundbaits. Black, they say, blends in with the riverbed and the lake on the bottom of the lake. So as I say, it seems to work quite a lot. I do red groundbaits, with the bloodworm and the blood mix. I also do a green mix. I do a method mix, which is ideal for commercials. Lots of fish meal in it. As I say, they're all full of the amino acids. I also do a chub mix. Now, a chub mix is again very visual, because in the chub mix I have particles of flakes that float out, out of the cloud of ground bait and attract the fish. And as you know, chub, they will eat ground bait. So the idea is to mix the ground bait so it breaks up in the water, creates a cloud which attracts the chub to it. And then, of course, you put a big lump of bread or a bunch of maggots or casters in the middle of that, and the fish should find it irresistible. I also have a little bit of honey grub in there, very similar to wasp grub. Unfortunately, wasp grub is banned on most venues, but as I say, that gives that ground bait something special. I was asked about a canal mix not so long ago, and I asked, well, what species you got in there? And they said, well, we got perch, roach, gudgeon, skimmers. I thought, well, okay, well, the amino acids you need for that, for example, perch, like the blood, the worm, gudgeon like garlic, so I thought, bit of garlic, bit of blood, and roach, bit of aniseed. And I mixed that with black ground bait, and that's worked out a very, very good mix. So if anyone's looking for a canal fishing, try that one. As I said, a lot of the other mixes, the Bream mixes, as I said, mix it the night before. All the information is on the website anyway, so if you want to pop over there. I'm always looking for new mixes, so if anyone got any ideas, send me a message, and in return, I'll give you a couple of bags of ground bait. It's worth looking at. As I said, I do a lot of hemp mixes as well. I love hemp in the ground bait because that's a great attractor. Lots of amino acids in that. So there you are. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an insight into my roadshows, and if if you're about at all on any of them, come and say hello. I'll show you the mixes and do the demonstrations, and I can do special offers on the night, so you can get a couple of bags for the price of one, sort of thing. Buy one, you get one free. Okay, but anyway, nice talking to you, and hopefully, as I say, you'll keep following my fishing vlogs. Hope to do one this weekend, but that's coming soon. So, as I said, I'll catch you again. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.